Okay, here it is, guys. I know you've been waiting on the edge of your seats for the rest of my answers, and I have them for you. I will try to make this short. I've got several questions. Well, not a ton, but like 4 questions to answer, and I will try not to talk as long as I did last time, so let's just dive right in. Okay, first of all, one of them I am going to put off. D. Claude Katz was curious about my political opinions, and he said the main reason was because he was having trouble stereotyping me, because I live in the North, but I claim Texas. I have strong religious views, and yet Minnesota is a very democratic state, and all of this. And I'm going to put that off because even though it might be a dangerous question to answer, I am interested in answering it because I like to talk about things, especially difficult topics. It's a challenge for me. But true to my nature as a very complicated person, I have very complicated views. So I want to organize those a little bit, but that will be coming. That is a very good question, and I am interested in answering it to the best degree that I possibly can. So, moving on. Chandler Bing 2006. Would you rather ride on a train, dance in the rain, or feel no pain? I could get all philosophical with this answer and say that if you never felt pain, how would you truly enjoy pleasure? That was a pretty lame answer. I should have thought of something more entertaining, but I never promised the answers would be entertaining. Faye Girl, Amy, asks, how would I say that the biggest tragedy in my life gives me something positive every day? Excellent question. I don't think I could ever nail down the biggest tragedy in my life, but I certainly understand the question, and I like the way that it's kind of open-ended like that. I look at all the different things that I've been through. The poverty that we endured as a younger child, when I was a younger child, that my family went through, and trust me, we had some hard times. Spent a few weeks living in a bus out on a friend's land because we had no money for a place to live, so it was like a month, maybe a little less than that we spent living in a converted bus out on a friend's land with no electricity or running water. And that was tough. Lived in a lot of trailer parks, so we lived in some bad situations. But without having gone through that, I wouldn't be as grateful for the things that I have in my life as I am. And that's a video I've been planning to make for a long time, and I will not talk too long about that because I want to get to that later. My breakup with John, if it weren't for that a few years ago, I wouldn't be going to this school. I wouldn't be doing a lot of things. So as much as that was hard to go through, a lot of positive came out of it. The years I spent apart from my dad, I can talk. If he had been around and I had been a big part of his life at that point, I would have had to be there when he went through some really hard things, and he really changed into a much better person. But the way he went through that might not have been conducive to a very healthy relationship. So even that time apart, I think, gives us a healthier relationship now, as we are both healthier people than we were back then. So, any tragedy can be turned around for the good. If you want to look at it from a Christian perspective, I know not everybody who watches my channel is a religious person, but one of my favorite scriptures, I can't remember quoting it verbatim, but says that all things work together for the good for those that love God, and I honestly believe that. I think that good can be brought out of any situation. So thank you for that question, Amy. That was probably one of my favorites. So let's see, and then I have one more, and this is from my cousin Ivory, who is not a YouTuber. I posted this on my blog on MySpace, and the only person that actually watched the video and commented on it was my cousin Ivory, who lives in Wyoming, who I haven't seen in years. And she asked me, where would I go on a dream vacation? What would it consist of, and who would be there? Because, once again, I am a very complicated person, that is a complicated question. I love traveling because I've moved so much, and I love doing all sorts of different things. So it would depend on the mood and what the vacation was. One of the things I would love to do would be to go to Europe. What would it consist of? Well, if I were going to Europe, probably the most nerdy things I could think of, along with staying in the cutest little bed and breakfasts I could find, it would be visiting every possible museum, Shakespeare's birthplace, all the different literary sites that you can find around England and all over Europe, every possible, to travel the world. And were I to take a nerdy trip like that, it would have to be a person who could enjoy that with me. I don't have a specific person really in my life as a friendship or anything that would really be specific for any of these, so I'm being general. Another idea would be, to appeal to my outdoorsy side, would be like a rigorous camping trip with a lot of hiking and everything. That would be a lot of fun. And if I were to do that, I guess the person I would want with me would be somebody who would push me. You know, I love to push myself, and that's why I would enjoy something like that, you know, to kind of be pushed to the limits and see what you can go through and enjoy it. So it would be somebody a little bit stronger than I am who could kind of be behind me and you know, pushing me to do more. And otherwise, a trip to Hawaii, and that would just, or any tropical place like that, and that would just have to be somebody I could relax with. If I can find a person, all three of those rolled into one, I'd be in heaven. Who knows? Maybe someday, right? Anyway, those are the answers to all of them except for the political one, but I do really want to get to that, so I'm mentioning it as my way of sort of answering the question. And that will be its own video blog sometime coming up here. I don't think this was too long. Haven't looked at the time. Anyway, hope this works. See you guys.